If you want to start making bread at home, this is a wonderful recipe to begin with. This is a really classic farmhouse loaf. Save this recipe for when you've got a bit of time, because I will talk you through every step of the process. And once you have made bread at home yourself, you will be so proud of yourself and you will not go back to the shop bought stuff, because this is divine. Here we go. 400 grams of bread flour, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons or 1 sachet of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar. Mix your dry ingredients briefly. I find this just helps stops the yeast clumping together when I put the water in. 30 mils or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and then 240 mils of warm water. This will go into the stand mixer now for about 5 minutes. If you're kneading this by hand, which is very doable, this is a very good dough to knead by hand if you don't have a stand mixer, it will probably take you 10 minutes. After your dough has finished kneading, it should look really nice and smooth, a bit like that. So that is, there are no lumps in there. And if you're not sure whether you've kneaded enough, you can do your window pane test, which is where you grab yourself a bit of dough, stretch it between your fingers, and if you can see the light coming through the dough before the dough tears, then you know you have kneaded it enough. Right, I'm just using my bench scraper here to shape this into a ball, just so nothing dries out while it's proving. Okay, we'll cover this now and we'll leave it until it's doubled in size, which normally would take around an hour, but if it's really hot when you're making your bread, it might take a bit less time, maybe 45 minutes or 50 minutes. It's been 45 minutes now, my dough's beautifully doubled in size, and now we can roll this out, and I'm just doing a standard loaf today, so I'll show you how I make that. So a little bit of flour on your work surface, scrape out your dough, tiny bit on top, and I just tend to stretch it into a rough rectangle, fold it into thirds, and then roll it up from one end. Tidy it up a little bit. There we go. Doesn't need to be perfect. So I will leave this now under a tea towel for 1 hour, and then we will pop it into the oven. Okay, my dough's been proving for its second hour now. I'm doing it in these loaf tins today, and I've just put some butter around the bottom and the sides just to stop it sticking. I think it probably would be fine, but I never want to risk it. So I'm just going to pop this into here. And I'm actually going to use a lid. I've got a second tin here. So I'm just going to pop this over the top like that. And I will bake it in my oven, which I've preheated to 170 degrees. And I'll bake it like this for about 30 minutes. And then for the final 15 minutes, I will take it off and we'll brown the top. Look at that.